Welcome back to the Anthony Lee Crypto Channel. We are live. It is finally Friday. What's up, guys? How are we? Got a poll in chat. Hit it up for me. We got lots to talk about today. We got a confirmed 4-hour sell signal. What does that mean? Does that mean anything at all? Because we had... Sorry, I can't get situated. Because we had bullish news reports. But is it really bullish? I mean, really, is it bullish? We'll take a look. Let's see what we got in here. Uh-oh. Chat is working, but my ability to pull them up on screen, I only see 2 of you, but I see much more chat than that. So, Eons, good morning. Crew, Salt Chain, what's up? We got Hawkborn, good morning, and there's several others here that aren't showing up. So, I think there was like a lag or something. You know, I always got technical things going on here. Jane International, good morning. Jane says, remember everyone, the crash, April 17th, bear moon. She's predicting the April 17th being the crash date. I don't know why she is saying that particular bear moon. I really don't. I didn't ask her. Maybe I should have. Maybe she will enlighten us as to what is so special about that bear moon as opposed to any other bear moon. Mighty Max, what's up, bro? Thanos, my main man. Johnny number 5, what's up, crew? Glad to have y'all. Got the poll in chat. The poll says something like, will this 4-hour sell signal play out? Go ahead and hit up that poll. We're going to take a look at that 4-hour sell signal in a minute. We got the market open in about 8 minutes. We'll take a look. Let's look at let's start out with some traditionals, just real quick. Let's see how they're looking on the gap fill type stuff. Big gaps, guys, on traditional markets. I don't even have these marked out. Let's mark some of these out. Oops. Got gaps way down there, y'all. Come on. This on the Dow. Gaps down there below. Guys, if we were to come fill both of those gaps, it'd be on the drop of a Dow of about 6%. That would easily equal a 10+% drop on Bitcoin. What about just this first gap? If we came and filled it and then bounced, about a 3.5% drop. You'd easily see 5-6% on Bitcoin or more. Let's look at the S&P. Probably the same thing. Yeah, exact same thing. Exact same thing, y'all. 7% down and 3% down, so about the same. About the same. That should translate to a 6-7% drop on Bitcoin here. If you came down to the lower one, you would probably be looking at a 10+% drop on Bitcoin. We'll see if we start the rotation down for those today. But Bitcoin typically fills the CME gaps pretty quickly. We looked at this yesterday. We do have some gaps up above and down below. Let me zoom back out to the daily. We have one up here about 84K, and we have 3 down below. One at 69.3, another one approximately 67K, and another one down here at 63.8-ish. Typically it fills them pretty quick. I know you see 4 of them on the chart right here, but you get gaps all the time. Most of them fill pretty quick. Almost all of them fill at some point. But the Dow and S&P and traditional markets aren't like that. Like this one on Bitcoin at 84K has been here for 2 months, over 2 months. The Dow and S&P don't usually leave their gaps very long. You usually get those within, I'd say, a week tops. So it wouldn't surprise me to start seeing some rotations down to fill these gaps on traditional markets. It's hard to see right there, but you drop down to lower time frames, you can see them clearly. It wouldn't surprise me to see rotations down here pretty quick. Matter of fact, this one over here has been here for 10 days. So, and this first one has been here for 3. This will be day number 3. So, yeah, it's time to gap fill. I do believe. Let's see what Cypher's looking like. You got daily money flow in the red. Go 4 hour. Daily money flow in the red and headed down. You got 4 hour bearish divergence here. You can see it right there. Yeah, I could looking to print a 4 hour red dot. I could definitely see some rotation down here to get a little gap fill going. So we'll take a look at Bitcoin sell signal in just a minute. Just wanted to make you aware there are some gaps below, and Bitcoin is most likely going to follow those when the markets go down to fill those. Let's see what Jane has to say. Jane, a lot of what we call, oh gosh, baby, you know I don't know what that word is. I can't even pronounce it. She does this. Watch this. Remember our walkie-talkies? Babe, I don't understand that word. Can you pronounce it and tell us what it means? Malefic? Malefic?
It's malefic.
Malefic. And what does it mean?
It means adversarial or bad.
Thank you, baby. All right, a lot of what we call bad energy, malefic energy, it's in a tough sign, Aries. I don't even know what that means. And it's with a planet that means pain and wounding, so it could be a bit tough. I don't understand any of that, but she does. And what she's saying, I think, is that particular moon coming up, she trades the moons based upon this stuff. I trade the moons based upon chart statistics. Whatever. I'll take any advantage I can get. It's a tough sign, and it's with a planet that means pain and wounding. So whatever moon that's coming in, the new moon on the 17th is with a planet that revolves around pain and bad energy. So she's saying this particular new moon or bare moon coming up on the 17th could equal a crash, as she called it on yesterday's stream. Salt Chain says, I have no idea what that means, but I'm hoping you're right. Yeah. I'm right there with you. I'm right there with you, Salt Chain. I'm married to her, and I don't know what it means. Moin Marcus. What's up? What's up? Guys, I'm trading on KCEX and MEXC. I got the banner up top. You should be able to see KCEXtrading.com. Go get you an account, 0.01% market order fees. You can't find lower than that. Like, I've never found lower than that. Cheapest fees in the business alongside MEXC, which I'll flash that banner now. MEXC has the same fees, 0.01% market order fees. So you don't have to set limit orders. Why set a limit order? The limit orders are free, by the way, if you want to do that. But just mark it in for 0.1%. You can't beat it. I trade on those two exchanges, guys. Go use the affiliate links in the description, or just go to mexctrading.us, or there is the KCEXtrading.com. BLOFINtrading.com also. Let's take a look at a little flashbang here, guys. We're going to talk about this. We're waiting on the market open, a couple more minutes. But let's talk about the news before the market opens. All right, so we had CPI data come out. CPI is huge, massive, okay? Had 3 CPI reports come out. All 3 you see are red. That means bullish, okay? Bullish. However, in my opinion, it is still very bearish. Well, what do you mean, Anthony? It's bullish. Okay, so previous, let's just go over year over year, which is really what the Fed goes by for interest rates, right? Year over year, right? previous reading was 2.4%. You know, the Fed's been driving for 2% inflation, I think, 2%. It was at 2.4, so they were pretty dang close to the target, right? They forecasted a 3.4%, which is a 1% increase. That is freaking massive. We came in at 3.3, which is lower than forecasted of 3.4. Does that make sense? It's lower than forecasted, so it's bullish because it came in under the projected forecast. However, it still went up 0.9%, right? Almost a full percent. It still went up. So even though it was bullish in the sense that it wasn't as bad as they thought it was going to be, it's still pretty damn bad. It still went up by 1%. That is bearish, y'all. That is bearish. That is not bullish. So you got a little short-term spike, and you could get a little bit of spike here when the market opens because people have priced in 3.4. So you might see them run up a little bit, grab some liquidity. But overall, this is bearish, guys. This is bearish, okay? That is a big increase. That is a big increase. So let's go in and look at it a little more. You've been in the twos, 2.4, 2.4, 2.7, 2.73, 2.9. You've been in the twos for a year now. And now you're back up to 3.3, guys. Back in October, you hit 3.0, but you're at 3.3, so this is headed the way wrong way, big time, and fast. So this is not good, okay? This is not good. This is bearish. Again, a little short-term bullishness because it did beat expectations, but it is still bad. And what that means is going to give the Fed ammunition to hike rates, or certainly not lower them, which they weren't really planning to anyway, but there was an off chance. Now there's like 0 chance they're going to lower rates, right? Bearish, guys. Market is open. Let's drop to the 5-minute. And we're going to talk about this 4-hour sell signal coming up in a second. Well, let's watch this for a minute. I'm not taking a trade this morning. Y'all know the trade we would look for, but I'm in a trade. I'm in a short trade already. Copy short trade. It's not doing very well. We were at break even yesterday, but we didn't take it. That's okay, guys. That's all right. I have on that trade what I'm willing to lose if we get liquidated or stopped out. I'm okay with that. And of course, on copy, you can manually control your trades. Get a little bit of move down. I really think we're going to start to rotate down with the gap fill stuff coming up. Let's move on. All right, guys. On the bullish side, we are still under a 2-day Lionheart signal. We've been under this signal, though, since March the 12th, and we've not come up to our 2-day 55, which is at 76.2K. We can still come up there. However, there is, I think, two failures, only 2 failures in the history of Bitcoin on this 2-day signal. West Coast, I was wondering, bro. There you are, brother. What's up, man? There's, I think, 2, correct me if I'm wrong, if somebody remembers, I think there's 2 failures on this 2-day signal. So far it has not failed, it just hasn't hit target. However, one of the failures was right here. Okay, right here, which happens to be, this is back in 2022, which happens to be right in the area. Well, let me change this from green, because people are going to be like, green is good. No, green is bad here. We'll go blue. See, we got this signal here, and our target was the 55, and we came up towards it, then came back, and the failure of the signal would be taking out the previous low, okay? And we did take out that previous low. Well, actually, technically this was not a failure because we did not take out the low. Let me turn off this magnet. It's messing up my brush. Technically, this wasn't a failure, but I call it a failure, okay? You got the signal here. So by the time you closed it, you probably would have been right about break even. The technical failure would be to come below this. and you didn't do that until over here after you got the exit signal. I still consider this a failure. Although, I tell everybody, Bitcoin, by the time you got the signal, went up 21%. So, if you're on 10x leverage here at 21%, you're up 210% of your investment. So, if you went up 210% and didn't take profit, then you shouldn't be trading. You have zero business trading whatsoever if you're up 210%. So, technically it was a winner. I don't like it. Either way, this was the same area right here in this bottomish area, right, that we're looking for right now. The same area, this June to 2022 area that we've been looking at. That's the exact same time you got this, which was a technical winner, so take that off the board. There's only one failure, and it was a short signal. But that would be like this 55, green 55 coming down, something like this, and you finally hitting it right there, okay? That would be something like that. Okay, that's how that would have played out last time. So who knows? Who knows what's going to happen? Bitcoin kind of rotating down here, about to lose, just lost 72K. So Lionheart, big old nothing. You do have some short signals on Lionheart here that have not yet played out. This would be a failure on the 90-minute. So Lionheart works with the trend, okay? And on this, I mean, it can work anytime, but I don't take them against the trend. And right here, you can see the clear trend for the small time frame. Short-term trend is up. So when you got this 90-minute, like I know it played out here, but when you got this one, I wouldn't have taken it because the trend is up, so less likely to play out. If the trend was down, I definitely would have taken it with the trend if you got the short, but this one was a failure. But 90-minute is nowhere near 100%, so the only 100% stat you have on Lionheart, which is 100% in the entire life of Bitcoin, that's a long life, is the daily Lionheart signal. Never failed. Never failed. And that we got that one way back here in March, and it already played out for a win. Looking at our fractal, I think I can take this stuff off. Looking at our, I'll just save it like that. Looking at our fractal, fractal's still in play. Fractal still in play, looking for the rotation down. This is our, I took the whole fractal off. I didn't mean to do that. I just meant to take this off. All right, fractal still in play. Kind of extending out a little longer than we would like here, right? This one was kind of boom, 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 and this was boom, boom. We're waiting on the boom. We just haven't gotten it yet. Monthly stats. This is the wrong one, possibly. Monthly stats, still good so far. We've rotated up to our box of interest that we were looking for the high side move, and then a rotation down. We have not gotten the rotation down yet, but again, we just hit this box a couple days ago, so we are expecting rotation down. You know, it doesn't happen overnight. Sorry about that, guys. But we are in the box, so we did come up and hit our target, statistical target. Let's go back now. Let's go back and look at our 4-hour stats. Let me refresh this, zoom back out. Let's look at our 4-hour sell signal, the point of the thumbnail. Let's get to it, guys. Go ahead and hit up the poll if you haven't hit the poll yet, before we get into the sell signal. We drop to the 4-hour time frame. So I'm looking at the 4-hour time frame on Bitcoin, and there is this little S. I don't know if you can see this. Can you see this S, this little S right there? That is a sell signal, okay? You get these from time to time. They flicker on and off. What you want to do with this sell signal is wait until that 4-hour candle closes. Then it becomes confirmed, okay? So I never, ever, I've seen these things flash on and off 20 times during 1 4-hour period and then wind up not confirming. Okay, so I always wait till the confirmation. Sure, you might lose a little profit because a lot of times these things just head straight down, but not always. Hey, Bubby, what are you doing? What are you doing? Come on, come on. Say hey. Come say hey. Oh, he's got the big dopey here. All right, buddy, you gotta go. Go see mama. I'll wait for them to confirm. Anyway, you got a 4-hour confirmed sell signal here. What I want to do is look at the history of these. I went back and marked these out going a year back. Okay, you actually got back-to-back sell signals here. You can see back-to-back sell signals. So the last sell signal that we got, 4-hour sell signal, was a few weeks ago, about March the 17th, and we got a 10% rotation down. I actually got more than that, right? You got a little bit more than that. Because you rotated all the way down here, but at 10% you got a significant bounce. So for me, that would probably be the end of it, you know, because I'm probably not going to ride this big bounce just to come back down. I'm at least going to heavily TP here, but I call this 10%, right? The one before that was the first part of March. You got a 10% move down. Okay, so let's start noticing a little trend here. 10%, right? The one before that we actually saw on stream. We were on, this was Babylon, guys. This was Babylon. This was at 98K. You got this sell signal. I'll zoom in on it. You got the sell signal up there, right? Babylon. You got 10% before you kind of got a little bounce and sideways. So if you want to call us 10%, fine. That's 3 10% in a row. But I don't know. You didn't really bounce. I mean, a little baby bounce, and then you continued all the way down for a total of 38%. So this one technically played out 38%. But, you know, before you got your bounce, where most people would have said, oh, I might want to get out of this trade, which I understand, was 10%. Okay, and then you kind of got that bounce and extended sideways action. So you could have seen a possible Bart Simpson in here. Let's look at divergence. No, you didn't really have any divergence, no bullish divergence on the 4-hour anyway. So, but either way, 10% or 38%, however you want to look at it, let's call it 10%. The one before that, you got a 5% move down, right? I mean, 5% is nothing to sniff at, guys. If you're on 20x leverage, that's 100%. If you got a $5,000 account on 20x leverage, you made $5,000. One before that was in November, right around Thanksgiving time, you got 9%. So notice we have all these 10%, a 9, close enough to 10, and 5. And we're not going to go through all these, but let's just scroll back a little. 7%, 9%. You have to go all the way back to May of last year until you get what, I don't know if you even want to call it a failure. Okay, you got the sell signal, and then you continued up. However, you did get a 4% move down before you got the move up. So a lot of people would probably still call this, you got over a 4% move. I mean, technically that's a winner, right? That's a winner. But, you know, you look at this, you're like, well, actually, you continued up. This was all-time high area. This was going into, like, 112K before you moved up to all-time high. So the difference here is you were still in a bull market, right? You were still in a bull market. So, of course, any bearish signal while you're in a bull market, a massive macro uptrend, is going to be smaller than the ones you get when you're in a bear market, right? The 10%, the 38%. So if you want to call us a failure, fine. But technically you got a 4% move down. So anyway, going all the way back to 1 year, not one of these has not resulted in at least a 4% move to the downside, okay? Not one, including macro bull market stuff, right? And those are confirmed signals. So we now have a 4-hour confirmed sell signal, okay? All right. So if we just got the bare minimum that you've gotten in the last 1 year, 4%, that's going to put Bitcoin down to, you know, about 68, 60. Let's call it 69K, maybe a little better than 69K. But the flavor of these, in my opinion, especially since kind of topping, seems to be 10%. You got 10%, 2 10%. 3 10%, 1 9%, call it a 10%. So 4 10%ers. Another 9. Call it 5 10%ers. Matter of fact, I'm not even going to count the 38%. Not even going to count the 38%. And that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 divided by 9. So we got 64 divided by 9. Your average percent's gonna be 7% to the downside, guys. 7% to the downside. So let's see what 7% to the downside would be, guys. Not one of these has failed. Remember, not one of these has failed. If this were to go up from here, you would have less than a 1%. You would have about a 0.5% move down. That would be considered a failure to me. So 7% down. You're going to be looking somewhere in the area of 66K. Okay, right there. 66K is 8%. 66 to 67K. Let's go back and look at our Bybit chart and see what's in the area of 66 to 67K. Right there. You got value area low, CME gap, okay? Right in there. Coming in at 67K, your value area low is right there at 66K, okay? Right there. That is your average move down for the last 1 year on a 4-hour sell signal. Confirmed sell signal, which we have, okay? That is a fill of the CME gap. That is down to the value area low in key area, potentially. Of course, half of these have been 10%, which would be about 3% lower. So if you got one of those 10%ers, if you're looking all the way down here to the swing level at 64K, between 64 and 65K. Taking out this swing low right here. Okay, which you could easily do if you get into these lows. If you get into these lows, you're gonna have, we talked about the gunpowder, especially these lows right here. If you come into these lows, you could take this low at point of control and bounce. But if you come into these lows below the CME gap, it's 1, 2, 3, 4. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of them. Gunpowder, bam, 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 bam. You're definitely, in my opinion, gonna come take this 65K low out. Yeah, this would be a massive Bart Simpson if that's what it did. For sure, West Coast, he'll do a giant Bart Simpson. However, I guarantee you everybody here thought this was a giant Bart Simpson too, right? Guaranteed. Except us. We knew it was Babylon. But you heard other people calling for this. Barton back up. New all-time highs incoming. Nope. I don't see it happening, but I see what you're saying. Bart, back up. Maybe not there, but there. I don't think so, though. So, just to recap, 4-hour sell signals. We have had, let's count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 of them in the last year. All of them have been winners. 100% win rate. The smallest of which being 4% move to the downside. These are confirmed, by the way, just confirmed sell signals. We currently have one. We've only moved down about 0.5%. Currently on a little bounce, but at the time we got it, moved down about 0.5%. So that would be vast failure if that's all we got out of this sell signal, okay? So what I would like to see is, for me, an invalidation would be the taking out of the high before the sell signal right there. 73,123. If we take that out, a confirmed closure, 4-hour closure above that would be a failure to me. Now, we could SFP it. In fact, if we SFP that, it would look really, really, really good. I'm going to show you why. Boom. Look what we would have, guys. Look at all these drives of bearish divergence we could potentially have. This is like reverse pig's nippling here, guys. Look at that, guys. If we quick wick that and came down, reverse pig's nipple, guys, you could get a massively fast move to the downside. So if we close a 4-hour candle above 73.1, I would consider this sell signal the first failure in 1 year. However, if we moved up, quick wicked it, created that 1, 2, 3, fourth freaking drive of bearish divergence. Now I'd have to quick wick it because this thing is close to invalidating another drive of bear divergence. But it is there if you were to wick it now, right? It would be there like now, like in the next probably next 6 hours. You got 2 hours left in this 4-hour and one more 4-hour period. If it took you 2 days, this momentum wave is going to creep up like this, and it would invalidate that. But if you took it in the next probably 2 4-hour periods, so the next 6 hours, you would probably still have that. And that would be massively, massively bearish. Professional traders dream about 3 drives. A 4th drive is very rare and should equal a ginormous move to the downside. Probably to the tune of 7 to 10%. Dagbjord, good to see you. Hadn't seen you in the crew for a while. My favorite Icelander is back. Spot buys, are you talking alts or Bitcoin, West Coast? The dog, Edge, is back here chewing on something. It's just like, it's so annoying. It's like bro. Yeah, I know, West Coast Bitcoin. Nothing close. I mean, nothing like relevant to current price action. I mean, I'm not interested in spot buys until sub 60K. I'm literally not interested until I don't think for anything in the world that the low is in. I mean, we could come all the way up to 84K and fill the CME gap, and I still think we set a new low. But yeah, even if it's something like this, and we just chop this range, you know, we take out the high and we take out the low, you know, something like we did over here. You just actually, this looks the same, just inverted. This looks inverted. I mean, look at this area. Here, bullish, you know, you call it a bull flag, whatever you want. You know, you're just consistently taking out the lows. You got a low, take out the low, take out the low, take out the low. But you never took the high, never took the highs, never took the highs, never took the highs, right? Here is, let me erase this. Obviously, we haven't been in this range as long, but here's the opposite, right? You already see the orange lines on there. You got the high, take out the high, take out the high, but we've never taken out the lows. So what does that tell you? What happened this time? Massive break to the upside. Massive break to the downside. It's coming, guys. It's coming. I'm telling you, it's coming. This goes back to the whole springboard diving board thing, right? Springboard up, diving board down. Okay? It's coming, guys. It's coming. Just how many more times do you want to take the high? That's the unknown. Stop it. Dagbjord is good. Yeah, Salt Chain, we expected chop in this range for a while. Yeah, I mean, last time we were in this range, y'all, I mean, we stayed here for 9 months. So, literally, when we came into this range, I said, do not expect to just crash through it or just rip right back out of it. I said, expect to spend some time here. This was 9 months before we could break out of it. And once you get back in it, it's like quicksand. You're just in it. You either break out of it or break down from it. So, West Coast, I'm really not interested in anything except sub 60K. I don't think that you have zero weekly bullish divergence. You have a bear flag forming here. Look at all the liquidity. It'd be one thing if you had one low, you know, V-shaped recovery, boom, but you don't. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You got all these lows liquidity. They're not fixing to move. I mean, they could come up a little, sure. But they're not fixing to rip into a new bull run and leave all of these lows behind. When they come take it, eventually you will have one low. And so that'll be the lottery for people who get that. But they're not fixing to leave you with a whole bunch of these. For everybody and their mother and their aunt and their grandma and their brother and their neighbor to get in. They're going to leave one for people who had the balls to take it at that point. Because by the time you get that low, most people are going to be thinking lower. Shoot, we missed it. That's how it works. But this right here, I could have got in there. You could have got in there. Your mom could have got in there. Your brother could have got in there. Your cousin could have got in there. They're not fixing to leave that, guys. They're not. They're not going to do it. I'm telling you. No divergence. This is a diving board. You bounce on the jump down on the diving board. You bounce up. You fall over, and you create a springboard that you catapult out of, and that's what you're looking for. So yeah, sub 60K. I'll be honest, bro. Am I on the wrong chart? It really. We haven't looked at this in a minute. Let's go to the weekly. It really wouldn't surprise me, man. I mean, call me whatever you want to call me. People will call me whatever they want to call me until it happens. This really wouldn't surprise me, man. I mean, look at that support you got right there. Between 40 and 45K. I know what it sounds like, but I also know what it sounded like every time people said, you're crazy, we're not going to the 786. And look, the 786 comes even lower than that, and every single dang time you've come to the 786, every single time. Can this time be different? Sure it can. Everybody said, you remember if you guys were here last cycle, you remember the big thing was Bitcoin has never broken, when coming down to the bear market, has never broken previous all-time high. Never happened. Can't break below 20K. It's never happened. Never. Right? What happened? You went to 15K. You broke previous all-time high. You went to the 786. Even on the first drop, you front ran the 786 and you came back to it. It really wouldn't surprise me, man. That's at 39K. However, I'm not waiting for that. I am a buyer. I would actually probably buy in this golden pocket area, but not my full bag. 57, 50, call it 55, 57, somewhere in there. But I'll tell you, I really like, and we start, again, every time before we've come here. So probability, 100%, do what you will. I'm selling the kids to, I like this 702. 48 to 49K, I like taking out this wick right here, okay? This is the wick that everybody, well, not everybody, but a lot of people would have gotten in on this, and it never came back to. Okay, never came back to. Let's zoom in on it. This is this area that we're in now, right? This current area. This is before they sprung out of there. They left this wick right here at 49.5. I don't like to time the dollar, especially when you're talking macro, the exact dollar. 48.5 is 702. 49.5 is this wick. 50K is a nice round psychological number, so I'd probably be interested in buying somewhere like 50,200. Heavily buying. With full expectation that we could come down to 39K. But I'm okay with that. 50,200. You know how people are. 100K, psychological number. 75K, 50K. So we'll probably get a big bounce right there at 50K before coming down. I mean, probably look something like this. You would hit 50K on the nose. A lot of amateur buy orders there. Bounce, and then probably come take this. Right? Triple drive a springboard. So I would probably want to catch this bounce before coming lower. So I'd front run this. I'd front run taking that. Just me. I wouldn't leverage trade front running this. No, if I'm leverage trading, I want to take that liquidity and then bounce. But if I'm spot buying, I'm okay. Listen, does it really matter if you bought at 50K and it went to 48K and it turned around to go to 200K? Does it really matter that you bought at 50 instead of 48? It's not going to matter whatsoever. So something like that. But I would be into, let's say I had $100,000 I was going to invest. Let's just rough round number. I would probably, for me, I definitely like to take this out, come into the golden pocket, right? So, something like this, 55, 56K. I would probably put in like 25%. Right here about 50K, 48K, the 702, I'd probably put in 50%. And I would hold another 25% for right around here. Something like 43K. If you get in all these, your average entry would be somewhere around 48K. And I'm cool with that. Or if you're confident it's going to 50K, just put it all in at 50K. That's me. That's my spot buys. Bitcoin moving up. Well, I mean, sort of. Bitcoin at prices it has not seen in 15 minutes. Wow. Yeah, I saw Chen. I was hoping it'd be in March too. Yeah. Sub 60K. Yep. Invicta. What's up, bro? Invicta dropping the trend lines in Discord. I like it. Good trend line, by the way. Guys, I posted this yesterday. Y'all check this out. I can give you a little glimpse into the life every once in a while. I know some of you don't care, but some of you might find this interesting. But this is kind of what I do to prepare. Invicta dropping the trend lines in Discord. I like it. Good trend line, by the way. Guys, I posted
Getting
this
ready
yesterday.
to go
Check
live.
this out. I give you a little glimpse into the life every once in a while. I know some of you don't care, but some of you might find this interesting. But this is kind of what I do to prepare. Invicta dropping the trend lines in.
Welcome back to the Anthony Crypto channel. We are live on this beautiful Thursday morning.
Guys, I posted
Getting ready to go live.
Netflix is here filming a documentary about the Anthony Crypto right now.
Some of you might find this interesting.
There's Netflix.
But this is kind of what I do to prepare. Invicta dropping the trend. Thought that was kind of neat. Some of you might want to see what we do. Starting out at 4 a.m. coffee drinking, charting. Then I usually go to the gym, but I didn't put the gym part in there. Then get ready for the live stream. That was yesterday's live stream, by the way. Where Netflix was here filming us. Let's take a look at our poll, guys. Let's see what you guys think. So the question is, will this 4-hour sell signal play out? 71% of you say yes, 10% down. 18% says sub 60K, and 12% say maybe a little downside. No one thinks this will be a failure. Well, you know my strategy. You never go against the probability, and at least in the last year, I didn't go back further than a year. But in the last year, it has been 100% that it has played out to a minimum of 4%, 100%. So we'll see. We'll see. I would like to see a move up into that. Well, gosh, I'd really like to just roll down now, but a quick move up into the 786, giving you 4-hour bear divs would be really nice. I know most of you don't like to see that because you're moving up and you panic, but someone who looks at this from a strength of a move standpoint, as in the strength of the move you could get with a quadruple drive of bear div. And I never like front running levels. Front running levels will burn you. You did front run the 786. It burns you because you do like this, and just when you're like, oh, la-di-da, we're about to make a bunch of money, it'll come back and wreck everybody and hit the 786 and then go. I'd rather just grab it and go if it's going to. That way I could have this quadruple drive of bearish divergence. Let's go look at the Dow, see what the Dow's doing. Dow kind of moving down a little bit. No, nothing much. Moving down just a little bit. Got those big gaps to fill. Take questions, guys. Johnny, number 5, says, I do think the 76K high is in. I can see it push towards the 786 at 73.6, then rotating down to sub 6K. Yeah, that's exactly what I could see happening. That's exactly what I could see happening. We are on the same page there, brother. It looks like it wants it. You kind of this little, I want to show you something else. You got kind of this little ascending triangle here. You could pop this. You might could even come into this daily. This could get scary, guys. Let's go look. I forgot to show you something. Oh, it's on this chart. Potential. And I'm kind of reaching on this. I'm gonna go to the daily time frame. Kind of reaching on this. I know it's not the prettiest, but I did kind of peep this earlier. Potential head and shoulders pattern here. Right. I know it's not the prettiest. It's not invalidated though. I haven't seen anybody talking about this either. Have you guys? Shoulder, head, shoulder, neckline. Where's that neckline coming in at? About 65.5, 65.5. What do we have at 65.5? Probably the key if I had to guess. Yeah, look at that. 65.9 is our key. Yeah, potential head and shoulders here with the neckline being right at the key zone. Of course, invalidation will be taking out the high, 76K. Any questions, guys? Got questions? Got questions? Oh, I didn't know the music was playing the whole time. I hope it wasn't too loud. Max says dump it. Can we look at Zcash? Yeah. I brought this up yesterday in Discord. I don't know if you guys saw. Let's look at Zcash. Zcash up 3% on the day. Let's go to the 12-hour. Up 3% on the day. Zcash kind of ripping. So I told everybody last week, and you guys want to look for this in your altcoins. The key, the flavor has kind of been we talked about this last week, the 6 hour 5 crossing the 55. I noticed this in Algorand. I noticed this in Fetch. There were several others. We covered 4 or 5 of them last week. The 6 hour 5 crossing the 55. Now, that doesn't always work, but you have periods in the market where certain things work, whereas they may not work other times. But right now, it seems on altcoins, the 6 hour 5 crossing the 55 has led to major pumps. Well, since we got the cross, it has been a 73% pump since that cross, right? And what I pointed out, if you're not really, you don't really do crosses, EMA crosses and things like that, from the time we got the buy signal, Alexander buy signal, which you can only get in the Anthony Lee Crypto Crew, you have to be in our Discord. It is free. Join our Discord. Also join us at KCEXtrading.com. Banner up above, KCEXtrading.com, or I'll flash the MEXC banner, MEXCtrading.us. You will not find lower fees. Check out one of those guys. But anyway, this buy signal, Alexander buy signal, I will show you the indicator, the Alexander buy signal. You can only get this in the Anthony Lee Crypto Crew. There it is, Alexander the Great altcoin strategy. I designed this with specific parameters based upon altcoin performances, altcoin behavior. So anyway, by the time you got it, if you didn't catch the cross of the 6 hour, you would have waited for this to confirm, which it confirmed right there. You've gotten about a 56% move to the upside. Seems like it was more when I looked at this yesterday. Let's see. Did I just mess up my measurement? Let's see. Yeah, about a 56% move to the upside from the time you got the buy signal. The last Alexander buy signal gave you 27%. So pretty strong indicator, guys. Pretty dang strong indicator. Last sell signal you got on this gave you 56% to the down. No, 60% to the downside. So it's a great little indicator I created. Not a lot of things I do is great, but this is a great indicator. You can get it for free in the Anthony Lee Crypto Discord. Join below, description of the video. Join the Discord. It's free. You just have to be a member of our crew. So yeah, that's Zcash for you. I wouldn't fade this. I would not fade this. It's probably overextended. It's very overextended. Let's look at the 4 hour. 4 hour bearish divergence. If Bitcoin rotates down, this thing should rotate down pretty heavily. But I say that. Let's go look at Fetch. By the time you got the signal on Fetch, you wound up with a 68% move to the upside. It's been overextended that entire time. You also had 4 hour bearish divergence here. Oops. 4 hour bearish edge. Chill, bro. 4 hour bear divs here. And so I would have expected a nice rotation back down, something like a Bart Simpson. You got this big imbalance here. I would expect it to come recover this here. But you didn't. You just kind of held sideways. You could still Bart Simpson here. In fact, you probably will at some point. This thing is ready to come down. When Bitcoin comes down, this thing will come down. But I would have thought you would have gotten it by now, but you have not. So it's hard to speculate on Zcash. Zcash looks like it's ready to do this, come recapture this imbalance. But if it pulls a fetch, then it could just hang out here for a couple weeks and then maybe rotate down. I would not be buying or longing this right now. You do not long something after it is pumped 60%. Bitcoin moving up. Are we coming for that? Coming for that 786. If you're going to come for the 786, let's get it now so we can still have this extra drive of bearish divergence. 4 hour sell signal still in play, still confirmed. Remember, we can wick this on a 4 hour basis and still be valid. If we get a 4 hour candle close above this, which is the high right before you got the signal, it is invalidated. But it is not invalidated if you wick it and then the next 4 hour candle closes below this. So you can close it here, 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 wherever. It is still valid. This sell signal is still valid. So far, nothing here. This is not invalidated. And if it does get invalidated, unfortunately, it'll be the first time in 1 year. So it is due to be invalidated. And it may be the first time in 10 years. I don't know. I just looked back 1 year. So I don't know how long ago it's been since we've gotten a failure, if ever. I'm sure we have at some point, though. Although technically you could call this a winner because you did move down about 0.5%. So I would still call it a failure. All right, guys, I'll take any questions you got before we go. Down, S&P holding steady, looking to move down. So this is a little noise from Bitcoin right here. Let's see let's fib where we are from the high to this low. Coming into 786 now. This could be all at once. You may not even come for that high in this upper 786. You could just take this 786. Let's see. You're about to hit it right now. It is mitigated and wicked and moving down. That could be all you want, guys, for the next leg down. Yeah, Thanos, me and you both. Hope it starts dumping. Let's look at WorldCoin. Saltchain, let's look at WorldCoin. I have some WorldCoin. I have about 300,000 WorldCoin. Good little rejection here, guys. This would have been a good little scalp trade. If we ever get back to our target on copy, I'm going to start scalping again. I thought when you guys voted for day trade, I was like, this is crazy. We're racking up profits every single day, hundreds of dollars of profit every single day, and they want to switch. I thought it was, I don't know, we had a good thing going. But I don't want to close folks on a loss and then start back scalp trading. You're more than welcome to close yourself in a loss at any point in time. And then we'll scalp it all back. We will get every nickel back and scalp. I have no doubt. I mean, you see we're 93% scalp win rate. So totally up to you guys. I'll leave it open. I'll leave you guys to choose. There's 7 of you. So, I mean, I hate to close when one guy wants to close and 6 want to leave it open. So I just tell everybody, close if you want to close. And then maybe Not Financial Advice will leave it in there, and we start back scalping. We will make it back. We will make it back. We will scalp back. I will. Trust me, guys. I will scalp this back. That is my forte. So what are we looking at? WorldCoin. I have 300,000 WorldCoin. I've showed you guys. You know, WorldCoin is really not performing very well, in my opinion. I'm very disappointed. Let's go to the weekly. I'm very disappointed. It has great potential. I'll tell you part of the problem with WorldCoin. We're below value area low. We've taken out October 10th, getting a little baby bounce here, but it's not getting that back. And again, there's a dozen, or so, maybe more. I don't know. Maybe a dozen coins that are bouncing good, like Fetch, like Zcash, like Algo, got a good bounce. Several others, but most aren't. So let's be real. Me being disappointed in WorldCoin, it's actually doing what 99.9% of them are doing, which is nothing or bleeding down. But I'd like to see a little more. We're so far away from the weekly 55. But that is way up here at 88 cents. That'd be a massive move. Even the daily, though. Daily 55 coming in right there, value area low at 33 cents. That'd be a good target I'd like to see us rotate up towards. And we could. We could. But ultimately, I think we have lower to go when Bitcoin goes down. Nothing here. Let's look at 6 hour. Now, okay. So we don't have this cross. Remember, we're looking for the 6 hour cross. 6 hour 5 crossover the 55. You're kind of pinched between the two of them right here in a very narrow way. One of two things is going to happen, and I can't tell you which. I have no idea. You're either fixing to go, I mean, you know how it is. It's like the, what is that indicator? Where they pinch down and they boom. And your price is going to go one way or the other. An explosion volatility. I don't know what it's called. I don't care. Anyway, you're pinching these together. Price is stuck between them. You're either going to go boom or you're going to go boom. But even if you go to the upside, I think you eventually come down. But you're pinching here, okay? Pinching between them. See, last time you kind of pinched between them here, not even as tight as you are now. You pinch, 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 and then boom, big move as soon as you broke one of them. And you're even a little tighter pinch now, much tighter actually. Look at that. So I would get excited if we got this cross. And right now you can see in the chart up here, to get the cross, this current 6-hour candle would have to close above 28.16. Now that'll update every 6 hours with a 6-hour close. These will move a little closer together, so the price it would have to go to would update. But that's what you'd have to get to in this current 6-hour candle to get the cross. So it's getting close. Let's see if you have divergence. Yeah, you got some bull divs here on the 6-hour. Could play out. So you got the 6-hour divergence. But again, if Bitcoin dumps, this thing's dumping. You got divergence here. Boom. Where would target be, right? Where would target be? Target would be the scene of the crime. Return to the scene of the crime, which is right here. So somewhere in there around 31, 32 cents, right? That's the scene of the crime. That's where the divergence originated. All right. You guys know what that means? This leg down that created your left side of the divergence, right? This originated here. You could just trace this up, and right there, that's where it started. So that would be your target. It could play. You'd have to break this, 28.5. You break that, and not just SFP it. You would look for a move up into this zone right here, value area low, 32 cents. So it's like right there, like it's on the verge, maybe, but it hasn't given you quite enough to say yay. It's right there to where it could go or it could reject, one of the two. You want to see that, breaking 28.5. And then I would expect to play out of these divergences to 32 cents, which would be about a 15% move, I think, if my math is correct. Yeah, value area low right there, right at 14.5%. Bitcoin moving up. Probably fixing to go for the high. Probably fixing to go for that 786, honestly. You don't have to go to 786. You could just SFP this and still have the divergence on the 4-hour. Bollinger Bands, West Coast. That's it, bro. That is it. Bollinger Bands. The narrowing of the channels there. Bollinger Bands. Thanos blames the planets. Messed us up collectively. Yeah. So 4-hour, if we were to take, let's see. I just got to take the high right now. And I mean right now, you would have to, all right, for this to still have a drive of bearish divergence, you would have to take this high. There's an hour and 37 minutes left in this 4-hour candle. Here's what has to happen, guys. For you to not mitigate this, you would still have 4-hour divs from here and here to there, right? Hidden divergences. But to not mitigate this divergence right there, you would have to take this high, like right now, wherever you went, and then come close below it. So a quick swing failure pattern. You would have to do that within the next hour and 37 minutes. If you close above it, yeah, you're going to turn it around quick because this momentum wave is moving up fast. Getting a little iffy here, but I don't think it's broke it yet. It is not. You're like on it. It's hard to see. My old man eyes aren't very great. Yeah, technically you just still have it right now, but you better get there and reverse quick if you want to keep this. I don't even have a copy pulled up. Can you pull it up and see? I don't even have it pulled. I'm not logged into my VPN. We were having some of that carry bins lag today, so I have it turned off. It's 75 and change. 75.3, 75.7, something like that. But I'm afraid if I pull it up, it's gonna freeze the stream. I haven't looked at it. I've not looked at copy since I set it. I set it and forget it. But I'm telling you guys, close it whenever you want. I don't know if you, I don't mind getting liquidated. That's how I do my day trades. I put on what I'm willing to lose total. If it goes to full Monty, I'm willing to lose that. This is like a 3.5 to 1 risk to reward, so 4 to 1, something like that. So what is it? We got it on here. I thought I had it on here. There it is. 3.5 risk to reward. So I only have to win 1 out of 3 of these to be in good profit. Actually, yeah. But if you guys close it, no problem. We'll just start back swing trading. And I know you'll be at a loss, but we will make it all back. It may take a couple weeks, but we'll make it all back and then some. Period. You have my word. I mean, Lord willing. You know, Lord will bless us. I've asked him. He said he will. I'm not being sarcastic. I'm being serious. We talk. We chat every day. All right, guys. Questions, comments. Don't worry, copy guys. We're going back to scalp. Y'all do what you want to do on your trade here. You want to close it for a loss, close it. You want to wait and see if this 4-hour sell signal plays out. I'm personally going with 100% stat. But 100% stats are made to be broken. But I'm letting mine ride. But you have the choice. You always have the choice. But once you guys close them or I close it at some point, we will go back to scalp and we will go back to just daily profit. I was really surprised when you guys wanted to switch. Because if I'm in something, and I'm not knocking you guys, I get it. But somebody's making me free money every single day. I'm like, hey, bro, don't change a thing. Just keep on keeping on. So I was really surprised when you guys wanted to switch. But I get it. I get it. And unfortunately, day trades have a zone of drawdown. That's what I like about scalps. They're quick in and out. If you do take a loss, it is very small because it's sniper entry, sniper exit. Versus this stuff that, even if this plays out, first of all, even if this played out, this is just how I look at it. That's why I trade 2 accounts. I tell you guys all the time, I take a day trade, I set it and forget it, and then I snipe on scalps. But even if this plays out, okay, very rarely, especially nowadays, and there's periods of time where Bitcoin is value area range trading blue line to blue line and touching one or the other every other day. This is not one of those times, okay? And that's what kind of sucks about day trade. That's why I have to have 2 accounts. I can't just enter a trade here and then twiddle my thumbs and watch it for a week and a half till it comes here. I can't do that. First of all, that's boring. Sure, you make good money, but that's boring. But second of all, you have to deal with this. Oh, it's going my way. It's going my way. Oh, shit, did I make the wrong call? Oh, no. Good call. We're good. Oh, God, we're not good anymore. That emotional roller coaster, no, sir. So I put on the trade what I'm willing to lose on the trade, $3,000 or whatever. If we get up here and I get liquidated, I'll lose $3,000. So be it. But I know that down here I'm going to make $12,000 if we go. And I set it and forget it. And then I go back to scalp. So by the time we get down here, I've made, $5,000 in scalp profit. And if I lose this, I'll lose this. I'm still going to make my $5,000 in scalp. But if I hit both, then I'm going to make $17,000. Because I'm going to make this 12 plus this 5. So you should, in my opinion, you should trade with 2 accounts. You should have a day trade account and a scalp account. And we talk about this all the time, how I always enter a scalp with a day trade, but I don't always enter a day trade with a scalp. I may take 20 scalps before I take 1 day trade. But every time I do a day trade, I take a scalp. All right, guys, that's it. We're going to get out of here. So far, we're okay. Okay? Just to recap very quickly on this 4-hour sell signal, let's go to our more clear chart. In the last 1 year, so this head and shoulder still looks good too. In the last 1 year, I guess I can leave that on there. In the last 1 year, you have had 9 confirmed sell signals. All of them have played out as a winner to the tune of a minimum of 4%. An invalidation of this particular sell signal would be a 4-hour candle closure above this right here, 73,123. A 4-hour closure, not a wick, a closure above that would invalidate this. Technically, it's a winner for a 0.5%, but that's a loser to me. Other than that, the minimum in the last 1 year has been 4%, with the average being 7.5%. Right? We'll switch to the daily. You won't see the signals on there, but it's easier to see the percentages. And I got the circles. All of them winners. I counted this one as a loser, but yeah, that's not a loser. They're all winners. You went down 4%. That's actually a decent move. So there you have them. Fetch is getting a signal. Let's look at Fetch. 12-hour Bjorn signal. Oh, speaking of that, let me show you. Let me go back and show you something. One more thing on Bitcoin. Fetch, nothing burger there. We talked about this yesterday. I told you to look for this, guys. We got Bjorn. We moved down on Bjorn below the 15 yesterday on the stream. I told you to look at the point that we got expansion. I said when we crossed back up with expansion, I said trade this thing in the direction. You remember this, 4 hour. I said trade this in the direction of the stochastic when you get expansion. And then we got expansion. Stochastic was headed up. And, oops. So I gave you this yesterday, live on stream here, and that's what you've gotten so far. From the point you've gotten expansion, which is right there, you have a 3% move to the upside. Easy. Easy, 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 easy. So, all right, guys, I'm going to get out of here. I love you guys. I appreciate you guys. We'll see if this sell signal plays up. Johnny and I both would like to see a quick move up into 786 and then down, but you have to come and close below this in the current 4-hour signal, which is an hour and a half left. So if you're going to get it, you need to get up here, reject, and move down and close below this white line, or the yellow line now. Close below that, and I think we're good for a big rotation down. So that's what we're looking for. Looks good. Appreciate you, Thanos. I'll be available in Discord if you guys need me. I love you. I will see you.